Hi, welcome back to our channel, and the video you are about to watch is a free lesson from our online course. So for those that didn't know, we have an online course on Class 101. It's titled Animating in After Effects. It's more than 45 lessons long, and it's about 28 hours in total length. So that's about 28 hours worth of content. If you are interested to check that out, the link is in the description below. So the video you're about to watch is a lesson of that course. It's one of the lesson of that course. It's lesson 2-1, and it's about easing in After Effects. So let's get to it. Hi, welcome back. And welcome to the chapter 2 of this course. For the whole chapter 2, we would be focusing on easing. So easing is an animation principle, and it basically means where in the animation should we speed up and where in the animation should we slow down. If you look at our project, it's not that great because each car's speed is constant, meaning from the start of the animation to the end, the speed stays the same. And as you can see, it abruptly starts and also abruptly stops. There's no acceleration and deceleration of movement. But that's not what happens in real life. If a car is moving and you hit the brakes, it won't abruptly stop. The speed would gradually decrease over time until we come to a complete stop. Also, if a car is from a full stop and would move forward, the speed would not abruptly increase but would slowly build over time. So this principle applies to everything around us. So even as I'm waving my hand, it's not moving at a constant speed. There is an acceleration and deceleration of the movement of my hand. Now take a look at this example. This one has no ease, and this has ease. Notice the difference? No ease simply means it's at a constant speed. Now to explain this further, let's go back to After Effects and let's make a simple animation. So I'm just going to create a rectangle. So I'm going to create a rectangle right here. So we need to deselect this so we could set the anchor point. Right now, you don't see the anchor point. So deselect F2, then click V so that we're back on our selection tool. So we could select this. Now we're not on the drawing mode where we have clicked this, and this is where the anchor point is. Press the shortcut to center the anchor point. So now it's centered. Now let's just animate the position for this. So I'm gonna press P for position, create a keyframe, and then move forward in time at maybe around the 12th frame, and then move this forward. So as you can see, as I created the animation, it created this line. This line is the path. And if I'm going to zoom this in, you'll notice that there are small dots. And we already know this bigger dot, this is the bezier handle, right? If you want to create the curve. We're not going to worry about that now. So I'm just going to drag this to here to remove the bezier handle. And let's do so in the other side. Let's remove the bezier handle so we could focus our attention on that small dots. So these small dots, this actually represent the position in each of those frames. So if I'm gonna go back to frame 0, the position is right here, and this is going to be for frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, and so on. So if I could zoom in the timeline, we'll see the individual frames right here, and then we could traverse now our timeline frame by frame. So as you can see, frame 1, the position is right here. Frame 2, it's going to be here. Frame 3, frame 4, and so on. So this actually, I'm going to zoom out a bit. So as you can see, these small dots, they are frames. And as you can see, the distance between each frame, they are the same distance all throughout. So from frame 0 to frame 1, this is the distance. From frame 1 to frame 2, it's still the same distance. From frame 2 to frame 3, it's still the same distance, and so on. And because of that, because every of those frames, they have the same distance, they have the same spacing, it moves, the way we perceive this animation is it moves at a constant speed. So I'm just going to bring the work area around here at around maybe 1 second mark. So I'm going to press N to bring the end of the work area here. And now let's preview this. And as you can see, it now moves in a constant speed. It abruptly starts and abruptly stops. So next, I'm going to discuss ease in. Ease in simply means to ease into frame. So between this frame to this frame, it means that we're going to ease into this frame. Or for short, we're gonna slow down as we go into this frame. So to do that, let's select this keyframe, right click, go to keyframe assistant and easy ease in. And as you can see, those dots, they redistributed themselves. So I'm just gonna click undo and focus your attention to these dots. And I'm gonna do that again. And as you can see, these dots, they distributed themselves, meaning the position here, the animation here, they have adjusted themselves. So now let's traverse our timeline and go through this frame by frame. And as you can see, as we go into this frame, the spacing between each frame gets tighter and tighter. So if I'm going to preview this, it would seem like it slows down. Instead of abruptly stopping, it slows down at the end point. So this means it's easing into this frame. Now let me just duplicate this. So the shortcut to duplicate a layer is Command D on a Mac. It's Control D on a Windows. And I'm going to press U and I'm going to select this whole keyframe. And now I'm going to bring this up. Right? So we could compare this to animation. And then for this one at the top, this duplicated layer, I'm just going to remove the ease. We have added ease to this. So to remove the ease, hold Command on your keyboard and click the keyframe. It's gonna change into that circle. Click it again to bring it back to the diamond shape. And now let's preview this both. So take note that we didn't adjust the timing. We didn't adjust the keyframes, or we didn't add frames to this animation. We didn't delete frames. The total of this is 12 frames. The total number of frames above is still 12 frames. They end at the same time. The only difference is the spacing between those frames are different. The one above has no ease and it's moving at a constant speed. The one below has ease in, which is slowing down at this part of the animation. So I'm just going to go through this frame by frame and you'll notice the difference. So here, you'll notice this one is the most drastic of them all. The second to the last frame and last frame for the ease in, the distance between them is too small. So when we play this, it seems like the way we perceive this is the object is slowly decelerating until it comes to a full stop. Next, we're going to discuss ease out. So I'm just going to rename this. So I'm going to click enter on my keyboard and then I'm going to retype rename this to no ease. And this, I'm going to click enter and rename this to ease in. Now I'm going to duplicate this. Again, it's Command D on a Mac. It's Control D on a Windows. And I'm just going to put this below and I'm going to rename this to ease out. We're gonna discuss ease out now, and I'm gonna press U to reveal all keyframes. And I'm gonna just remove the keyframe here because we've added the ease here. So I'm gonna hold Command on my keyboard. If you're then while holding the Command key or Control key on Windows, click this keyframe. It's gonna be that circle. Click again to go back to that diamond shape. I'm gonna release the Command key. And now what ease out means, or let's change the position. So currently the position of ease in and ease out, they're still the same. So I'm just gonna select all of this keyframe and then bring this down. So I need to select both so that all of the animation is being brought down. Instead of if I'm just gonna click this and bring it down, what it does is it just changes the position of this keyframe and not this. So now the animation is going going from that direction. So I'm just gonna click undo. Now if we want to bring everything down, you need to select all of the keyframes and then move it down. So this would be our ease out. So what ease out means is it would ease out of frame. It's gonna ease out of frame, out of this frame. So in simple terms, it means that it's going to slow down in this place in time. It's gonna slow down at the start. So it's going to accelerate. It's the opposite of ease in, which the ease in is it's decelerating in motion. Ease out is accelerating. It's slowly building up speed. So I'm just gonna hide this ease in and no ease. And let's add ease out to this. So it's ease out of this frame. So I'm gonna select this keyframe, right click, keyframe assistant, then easy ease out. Now, if you take a look at this again, these dots, they have redistributed themselves. So let me undo that again. So now it's back to no ease, right? Focus your attention on these dots, and I'm gonna right click this, keyframe assistant, easy ease out, and you'll notice that it has readjusted itself. We did not adjust the timing, we didn't make it longer or shorter. It's still the same. What happens is the position of the frames in the in-betweens, they have readjusted themselves. So if we traverse the timeline frame by frame, so I'm just going to zoom in our timeline by clicking this button. Now we could see the frame number. So as you can see that the spacing is very small at the start, and then it gets bigger and bigger. So it's the opposite of ease in. Okay, so now let's preview this and take a look at the motion. So it's not going to have an abrupt start. So it's going to build up speed. This is the opposite of ease in. So now let's reveal or make every of the layers visible. And let's notice the difference between no ease, ease in, and ease out. This is no ease, ease in, and ease out. So notice that you perceive them differently. You perceive some of this some of the rectangle as being faster, some of the rectangle being slower, without even adjusting the overall timing. All of them ends here, but the way we perceive their speed is different because the spacing between each frame is different. Now let's traverse the timeline frame by frame. So you would see ease out starts slow, right? It slowly builds up speed, and then the spacing between each frame is getting bigger and bigger. And now let's have a look at this one last time. Let me remove this. And that's ease out. Now we're going to discuss ease out in. It's basically a combination of ease out and ease in. So to demo that, let's duplicate this layer. So I'm going to click Command D on a Mac. That's on a Mac. It's Control D on a Windows. I'm just going to bring this down. And then I'm going to click Enter and rename this as ease out in. And I'm going to press U to reveal the keyframes, and I'm just going to select all of the keyframes and then bring this down here. And I'm just gonna hold my control key and click this keyframe, or I'm gonna hold the command key because I'm on a Mac. If you're using Windows, it's control, and I'm gonna remove the ease here. And now what ease out in is it's a combination of ease out and ease in. So first, let's add ease out to this. So we're gonna ease out of this frame and then ease in to this frame. So right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease out. Select this keyframe, right click, and easy ease in. So I'm gonna click this. Notice again that the dots here redistributed themselves. So now we have a slow on this part, and it also has slow movements on this part. So I'm just gonna preview this. So it's going to look like that. Now I'm gonna reveal all of the keyframes, and we could watch all of them together and their differences. So the one on top is no ease, the one on the second is ease in, the one on the third is ease out, and the last is ease out in. So now let me hide all of the layers except the ease out in. And now let's take a look at the path or the dots, this keyframe. And let's traverse the timeline frame by frame. So it's going to start slow. See, the spacing between them is small, and it gets bigger, making it faster, and then slows down again. The spacing now is it's getting smaller and smaller until it comes to a full stop. Focus your attention on the dots. So I'm going to select all of these, and I'm going to remove the ease. So as you can see, this is no ease. The spacing is consistent. It's the same all throughout. Now I'm going to add in again. I'm going to click undo to go back to our previous easing. So you can see that they have redistributed themselves, and we have added slow movements here and here. And remember that we didn't adjust the timing. We didn't add any frames or removed frames. It's still the same number of frames. We just redistributed the spacing. Now, if you're gonna make this part slower and this part slower, so it's gonna have slow parts on both ends without adding or removing frames, so everything is distributed here. What happens is that in the middle part becomes faster. So now let me preview this. So it's slow, fast, then slow. So just to recap, no ease has equal spacing. Ease in is easing into frame, and it's slow on the end part. Ease out is ease out of frame, and it's slow on the starting part. Ease out in is a combination of ease out and ease in. So it's slow at the start, fast at the middle, and slow at the end. So I have prepared here a different animation to really explain the keyframes and the different ease. So let me traverse the timeline. So it's just a simple animation. So it goes down in a diagonal way and also goes up diagonally. So currently it has no ease. Now you can think of the ease in and out as, if you look at the keyframe, for example, this keyframe, you can think of this part of the keyframe as the in and this part of the keyframe as the out. And think about it that every keyframe has that. So for now, let's label this keyframe as keyframe A, this one as keyframe B, this one as keyframe C. So currently, this one has an in and an out, but the in here doesn't matter because this is the start, right? We don't have animations before it. And this keyframe has also an in and an out. But the out for this keyframe also doesn't matter because the animation ends here. But think of it that these three keyframes, they have an in and an out. This keyframe has an in and an out. This keyframe has an in and an out. So let's say for keyframe B, let's add an ease in. So I'm going to right click, keyframe assistant, then easy ease in. I'm gonna zoom in the timeline by pressing this button. I'm just gonna zoom out a bit. As you can see, the icon here changes. It has this shape that signifies that there's an ease or a slow movement in this part. If you notice that this part is still having that diamond shape, it's like this one is half, right? This part, it's going to have that shape. The other part is still a diamond. It means that this part here has no ease and this part has ease, meaning it's slow on this part. So for this keyframe A, I'm gonna click this. So if I'm gonna ease in this keyframe, it's going to be useless because there's no animation before it, right? So we could only see the difference if we're gonna add ease out to this, right? The ease out part. So I'm gonna right click, keyframe assistant, and easy ease out. As you can see, this icon, this one is the diamond shape, the half diamond. This is going to be that shape, meaning there's ease here, and this here doesn't have an ease. So now let's preview this. So currently this is from this frame to this frame, this is an ease out in. We're easing out of this frame and easing into this frame. So let's preview that. So now here, I'm gonna click this. Let's add ease out to this. Let's add ease to the out part of this keyframe. So I'm gonna right click, keyframe assistant, then easy ease out. As you can see, the other side of the icon, it changes. Now, the keyframe icon looks like an hourglass shape. So this signifies that there's ease on both sides, the in and the out. Now for this keyframe, let's add an ease in to keyframe C. Select this keyframe, right click, then easy ease out. Oh, this is a mistake. I made a mistake, and that's good because I could explain this further. We're adding ease to the out part, but not to the in. So if I'm gonna preview this, there would be no effect, right? Because there's no animation from this keyframe to here. There's no more animation. There's no keyframe elsewhere, right? So adding slow to this part is going to be pointless. So I'm gonna undo that and right click, keyframe assistant, then easy ease in. So now we're adding slow parts to this part of the keyframe. So that's it. I hope you were able to understand more about keyframes. Now you try this on your own. You can create a new project, create a new comp, and then create a shape. And then to just test the ease, I would recommend just testing out the position property. So animate the position, and then notice the dots and try the different eases. Try animating with no ease, try animating with just the ease in, and try animating with just the ease out. And then lastly, try the combination of both, which is easing out and then easing in. And then notice how it changes your animation. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. And if you're interested to learn more about this topic, you could check out our course. The link is in the description. So in the course, we will discuss more about the speed graph. I'll also teach you how to use influence and velocity to tweak your easing. We'll also go into motion graphics principles. And I also teach you an my in-depth process on how I use path animation. And we'll also go into how I use path animation to animate the face of a character. And we'll also discuss other things like basic character animation and also animating from a storyboard. Again, the whole course is more than 45 lessons, and the total length is about 28 hours long. So that's 28 hours worth of content. And if you have checked out the link, maybe you'll find there 32 weeks. So what does that 32 weeks mean? So it simply means that the day that you enroll to the course, you have 32 weeks to finish the course. So that's 32 weeks or 6 months. meaning on the day that you enroll on the course, you have 6 months worth of access. You have access to the course for 6 months. After 6 months, you won't have access to the course anymore. So be sure to finish the course within 6 months. So you might think that this is a disadvantage, but it could also work in your favor. Why? Because if you're like me, I buy a lot of online courses. I want to improve. I want to improve my craft. So I think I have around 10 online courses that I have bought from various different websites. And to be honest, I think I've only finished about 1 to 3 of those online courses. So I still have a lot of pending online courses to start. I haven't even started most of them. And the kinds of online courses that I enroll to are mixed. Some of them have a lifetime access. Some of them have limited time access. And what I've found out is that I usually prioritize those online courses with have limited access. So this could also work for you, right? As an artist, we procrastinate. And because of this time limit, this 6 months time limit, it actually forces you to act. It actually forces you to do action, to finish that whole course, to start that whole course. And so I think that could work in your favor. And I think it also shows in the online course because most of the students are more engaged. Maybe it's because of the time limit that they want to get most out of it because you paid for it. And you really want to get so much value of that. So you want to finish it within the time limit. So this actually forces you to act. Also, during those 6 months, we have assignments and drills. And if you post in the platform, I will personally give comment and feedback to your work. So if all of the things here that I discuss are of interest to you, then please check out the link in the description and I hope to see you soon.